All right, today we are tackling 20 advanced English words that all revolve around rules, laws, and, all that bureaucracy. But here's the fun part. Instead of just giving you a long, dry list, we're going to learn them all through one single story as it unfolds. You ready to see how it all connects? Let's jump in.
We've all been there, right? That incredibly frustrating feeling of being totally stuck in a maze of procedures and regulations. It's confusing, but, understanding the language of that world, that can be a real superpower. So I want you to imagine you're a fly on the wall at a local committee meeting. Their big task for the day is to create a new law, or what's officially called an ordinance, completely from scratch. We're going to see every single stage from the heated arguments at the beginning all the way to the final signature on the paperwork. So where does any new rule even begin? Well, it starts right here, in the heart of it all, the great debate. This is where people take sides, they make their cases, and hopefully they manage to find some common ground. Okay, here's a fantastic pair of words with a really subtle but important difference. To accede means you actively give in to a demand, maybe because you feel pressured. But to acquiesce is way more passive. You're just accepting something without really putting up a fight. And this sentence just nails the difference, doesn't it? The chairperson actively gives in. They acceded to the demand for more time. But the other members, they didn't really protest, they just kind of quietly went along with it. They acquiesced. See? Two very different ways of agreeing, all in one room. Here's another great pair. Think of it this way. You abide by a law or a rule. That's an external thing you have to follow. But you adhere to a principle or a belief. That comes from inside you. So in our meeting, all the members have to abide by the formal procedures, but each of them adheres to their own set of personal beliefs. Now this is a powerful word. To abjure something isn't just, changing your mind. It's a really formal, serious act of rejecting something you once believed in or fought for. It's a big deal. So what's happening here is huge. The councilman has this massive change of heart. He doesn't just disagree with his old opinion anymore. He formally and publicly renounces it. He abjured it. Abstain is such a key term in any kind of formal vote. It's the neutral gear. You're not voting yes, you're not voting no. You're officially choosing to sit this one out. And right on cue, back in our meeting, one of the members just feels like they don't have enough information to make the right call. So instead of a yes or a no, they formally abstain. Okay, the big debate is starting to wind down, but the work is definitely not over. Not even close. Now we get into the next phase, the official process, the nuts and bolts of turning this idea into an actual, real rule. You might see this happen right in the middle of a big public meeting. A smaller group, all on the same side, will duck out for a quick, private chat to figure out their game plan. That little huddle, that's a caucus. You can just picture it, right? Things get a little tense in the main room, so the members who are against the new ordinance all step out into the hallway. They put their heads together, whisper a bit, and come back in with a unified plan. That brief meeting was their caucus.
So what happens when a committee is just completely stuck? They can't agree. Well, sometimes they turn to arbitration. They bring in a neutral outsider, an arbiter who listens to both sides of the argument and then, and this is key, makes a final decision that everyone has to accept.
Okay, so here we have two actions that are basically opposites. To annex something is to add it on, like attaching a new section to the ordinance. But to annul something is to completely cancel it, to make it totally invalid. Add versus erase.
Once they've got the basic rule figured out, the real detailed work starts. To calibrate is all about that fine-tuning. Seriously, think of it like tuning a guitar. You're making these tiny, precise adjustments to get it absolutely perfect.
And here's a perfect real-world example. So the fine for breaking this new rule, should it be $50 or $500? The committee has to carefully calibrate that number so that it's tough enough to work, but not so harsh that it's unfair. Here's the simple truth. No committee has unlimited power. Their authority is always circumscribed, which means it's held within very specific boundaries. It's like a circle has literally been drawn around what they're allowed to do, and they can't step outside it. So even if our little committee wanted to do something completely wild, they just can't. Why? Because the town's founding document, its charter, sets the limits. Their power is circumscribed by that older, more powerful law. All right, we're almost there. The decision has been made, the rule is written down. Now for the final, crucial step, making sure it's all recorded properly and that everyone actually understands what just happened and why.
This pretty much sums up those final steps. The antecedent is all the history, everything that came before the meeting. The Chronicle is the official minute-by-minute record of the meeting itself. The catalog is the final organized list of the new rules they created. And once all that's done, we can finally apprehend, or truly understand, the whole result. And now, let's do a quick bonus round of a few more awesome words. Abnegation is all about self-denial, putting others first. Bequeath is what our committee will do eventually, passing their work down to the next group. And coagulate? Well, that's what happened to all their different ideas, right? They all came together and solidified into one final ordinance. Cool, huh?
So, there you have it. 20 powerful new words, all brought to life through the story of one committee meeting. But the real question is, now that you can apprehend these terms, how are you going to use them to chronicle your own big ideas? Think about the debates and procedures in your own life. You've got the words now to describe them perfectly.